Hello everybody, Joethelawyer here, and thanks for watching. Hey guys, so recently I released a big video. It was pretty big, like 3.5 hours, and it was my deep dive into all aspects of the OSR, like every aspect of it, every little part of it. And it's gotten a great reception, but I realized that, 3.5 hours is pretty big for most people to sit there, even though it's broken up into chapters. So I had an idea, maybe I'll just put this out in pieces. That each main part has a separate piece, and that way people can sort of digest it at their own pace. I don't have to worry about listening to a big long video, essentially. And by listen, I mean because I just talk and show these cool black and white art pictures from old school D&D, so I don't have to watch or anything. But I thought it might be a good idea because there's a lot of people recently who got into the OSR, or were looking to get into the OSR, and they came from a 5e experience, and maybe they watched some YouTubers like Matt Mercer, Matt Colville, Ginny D, and and that's their experience, and they're hearing about this OSR thing from the sidelines, and they're like, what is it? I want to check it out. And so basically, I figured let me do this big video, and now I'm breaking it up into pieces for you. So. You're going to hear a lot of references to things, boards or blogs or links to this or that, and maybe references to products. I have a link page for everything I talk about, so you guys don't have to take notes at all or anything like that. All right, so just click. The link page is included in the description here, as well as a link to the big video if you want to just listen to this thing all the way through. I'm dropping it in like 13 chunks, I think it'll be. So feel free to take a look at that. And one really important thing, guys, is I got a little contest going with Eric Tankar. Whoever gets to 5,000 subs first, the other guy, the other guys got to buy a steak dinner and donate $100 to their favorite charity. So I definitely want to win a steak dinner because I'm doing the Atkins diet, damn it, and I like steak. So anyway, guys, if you could like and subscribe and share it around, I really appreciate it. That would go a long way toward helping me beat them. I would really appreciate that. So without further ado, enjoy the video, guys. Alright guys, so movies and TV shows. Now, the origin of this whole list came from back when I was running a game in a game store for a group that was pretty much mostly, except for one woman who was actually 10 years older than me at the time, in her 60s. This group was kids. By kids, I mean 20s. You know what I mean? Because when you're this old, everybody who's 20 is a kid, right? So I was running this game, 5th edition, and I was running it old school style with my, nefarious house rules to make it more old school and feel and this and that. And I was trying to get them to understand the feel of D&D. I knew I could recommend Fritz Leiber and all these other books, Elric, but they're not going to read because kids don't read, right? So I needed to find a way to convey to them the style, the feel of old school D&D, what I'm looking for, what kind of game, what kind of adventures, what kind of stuff they're going to be encountering here. And so I went on the blog and I reached out to everybody and I said, hey, told them the situation. I said, give me some movies and TV shows that are going to sort of give them the vibe and feel of, old school. Something that, passes along like, what I'm looking to get out there to them. And so there's a huge list. Everybody contributed. It was fucking awesome. And I had some of my own, obviously, and I took the best of the best and I made them into a list, and I'm going to give you the best of the best. Right here. Okay. So the funny thing was what I did with these guys is I said, listen, you watch these, and for everyone you watch, and I think I'm going to list with 10, everyone you watch, your character will get 500 XP. So all they had to do was go home, watch a fucking movie or TV show, and they come next week, 500 XP more for the character. So they were all in on this because all they got to do is sit and watch TV. That's easy. Netflix and chill kind of level, right? So it was perfect. So that's what I did. And so I'm going to go through the list of all these movies and TV shows. Now, you're going to be shocked because a lot of them have nothing to do with D&D or fantasy or anything like that. All right? Nothing at all whatsoever. But they are awesome and give the same fucking vibe as D&D, right? So first one, definitely fantasy. Conan the Barbarian with Schwarzenegger. All right, gotta watch it, gotta see it. Jesus Christ, it's the best interpretation of Conan ever. Well written, well acted. Well acted. Did he act or not? He could barely speak the language, right? Well done movie. Okay, totally gives the vibe of swords and sorcery. And I'm one of the few who liked Conan the Destroyer. I thought that was a great damn movie because it gave the tone of a 1980s adventure. You're on a quest to get the thing, and here's what happens along the way, right? So perfect. All right, next, Highlander. The original movie, maybe some of the series, but the movie definitely, only the very first movie. Every movie after the first was a cash grab that sucked ass, but the very first Highlander, cannot beat it. I mean, the Kurgan, I can't tell you how many stand-ins for the Kurgan I've had in all my different games over the years, right? So definitely got to watch the Highlander movie. Next, Oh, there can be only one. I could not pass off. I couldn't say highly about saying that, right? So next, Excalibur. All right, the old Excalibur movie, and just because I'm saying Excalibur, I have to throw in Monty Python and Holy Grail. I can't. It's probably the most quoted, other than Star Wars. The most quoted movie at the D&D table is Monty Python and Holy Grail. So yeah, and Excalibur just because it's fucking epic. I mean, Jesus Christ, right? I was just in a Walmart or something, and I got the Blu-ray version like $2. I'm like, shit, man. I don't know if a Blu-ray player works, but I'm gonna pick that shit up, right? So anyway, next, Tombstone, the movie with Val Kilmer was Doc Holliday. That is such a badass kind of thing to have. That kind of a town, that kind of vibe, those kind of badasses walking around in your game. I mean, that's it. If you could emulate those 4 guys in Tombstone, your PCs and all that, you're rocking an old school game right there as players. Okay, next, Seven Samurai. Enough said. 7 fucking samurai, right? Next, Lord of the Rings, because fucking duh, Lord of the Rings. The Peter Jackson shit. None of that crap on Amazon now. That's an abomination. It should not exist, and everybody involved should be just fucking thrown into the ocean in the deepest part. They're terrible. They're fucking terrible. But the original Lord of the Rings, the Peter Jackson one's epic. Hobbit, stretched out too long, but you kind of got to watch it anyway. If you're not going to read the books, watch the freaking movies. Or as my brother does, listen to the audiobooks. Every fall, he re-listens to the Lord of the Rings out there next to his fire pit and just goes through the entire thing. So yeah, fun thing. Anyway, next, Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood. Another kind of hardcore town, gunslinger. I mean, gunslinger, guy with a sword, guy with a gun, same fucking thing, but it captures the vibe of a badass in a badass town. And he's like, and you never know what's going to happen, right? It's a tough environment. It's not a sanitized, wussified bullshit town like Vandalin or something like that. This is a badass town. You want that vibe? Watch The Unforgiven. All right. Next, Alien. Alien for the horror, Alien for the fear, Alien because it's goddamn Alien and Sigourney fucking Weaver. You gotta watch Alien and try to carry that over into all your horror stuff, all right? Terminator, duh, 1 and 2, especially 2, but holy shit, right? Your bad guy, if he's like Arnold in the first one, and then maybe he makes an ally of the bad guy in the second one, I mean, that's a trope that could go on forever, and multiple games that you run, okay? Now, I'm going to throw out first couple Indiana Jones movies. Not all of them, obviously, but the first couple were pretty fucking good. I enjoyed the hell out of them. And by the way, guys, you're not going to get a link for all these in movies and TV because, look on Amazon, you'll find them all there, all right? Willow. A lot of people didn't like it. They thought it was a wussified thing, but I thoroughly enjoyed it back in the day. I thought it was kind of fun. It was a good movie. It really was a good movie. Another Val Kilmer thing, right? So Val Kilmer's making it in several appearances here. Definitely worth it. So watch Willow. You have to watch Heavy Metal, the movie. It was a cartoon. It was, a Heavy Metal magazine. Remember that whole thing? Heavy Metal, the movie, the original cartoon. Brutal, hardcore, epic. I mean, holy shit. The vibe of that thing was awesome. It was fucking awesome, and you just have to see it. Along with Clash of the Titans. All right, any of that sort of the claymation crap, or not claymation, whatever the hell it was that they used, the style of animation that they used for the monsters and all that. It was amazing, and Clash of the Titans was to me the epitome of all of it. Okay, I'm blanking on the name right now, and I don't have the time to look it up, but I know I'm going to get mocked and ridiculed for not getting the name of it down right. But you know what I'm talking about. You say Clash of the Titans and all the other stuff that the guy who made that up put out there in the world. That's what it's all about. All right, 2 cartoons that we all grew up with. Of course, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. We got. We got the DM, we got Avenger. I mean, that shit, you can't beat that shit. It was fantastic. The D&D cartoon was hokey and stupid, but fun. And funny thing is that some South America country or whatever put out a car commercial with the D&D kids in it. There's no link here for that. Google that shit. But it was fantastic. And I was like, oh my God, this was epic. It was the D&D characters from the cartoon, live action, doing a car commercial. It was fucking awesome. And I'm like, Jesus, why can't they use these people and make a real series out of this with these kids? It was great. They had everybody. Had Bobby the Barbarian and all. I mean, it's awesome. It was awesome, man. And again, along the same lines, Thundar the Barbarian with Ukla and Ariel. All right, everybody knows Thundar with the Sun Sword and all that shit. That was fantastic too. Now, these next 3 I'm putting in here under protest because I will catch epic levels of shit from everybody I play D&D with if I don't, all the old school guys. First, Eric turned me on to something called Hawk the Slayer. I watched it, and even drunk and stoned, I could not understand what the hell the appeal was, except the fact that it was put out in the 80s, and it was a movie that everybody, apparently except me, watched in the 80s. It never made my list. I didn't know that anybody would watch it. Never made my list. But Hawk the Slayer, I guess you got to watch it just to laugh at it, if nothing else. Next, Krull. He had that weird thing, that like a massive Chinese star thing that you throw in, a shuriken or whatever the hell it was, and it was dumb. It was goddamn dumb. And Tim, yes, I'm adding, because of you, Robin of Sherwood. Worst goddamn Robin Hood series I've ever seen, and you're going to probably kill my character tomorrow, Monday, in our game because I've said that. But yes, worst goddamn Robin Hood movie I've ever seen, but he swears by it, says it was the most awesome goddamn Robin Hood thing he's ever. He loved it. Oh my God, I watched an episode. I'm like, what am I watching? How? I watched 2 just to make sure it wasn't just the first one. I'm like, no, it just sucks balls. But like I said, Hawk the Slayer, Krull, and Robin Hood, Robin of Sherwood, rather. I had to put him in there or else I get crucified by my peeps. So yeah, don't watch him. Or do, just to mock him. But there's your list. Movies and TV shows that if your players watch it, it will get an old school vibe and feel out of it. It'll convey a sense of what you're trying to convey in your game. So that's the movies and TV. Next, I'm going to get to the final chapter of how to actually get into the OSR, where to meet us, how to get into it, what to do. All right, so that's coming up next.